if you guys are in and around the internet wrestling community, you know how feeble-minded, how stupid, and how uneducated they all are. When you think the people in this community can't get any more stupid, they pull out this new one this week that just makes you scratch your head and ask, who are you? Do you even think before you speak? Let me tell you something, man. I am not the smartest individual in this community. I wish I was. I definitely know my shit. But the things that I hear in this community just really make me wonder if there's any hope for anybody trying to break in to the world of podcasting, if their opinion is even relevant to anybody. I want you guys to understand something. And it's a shame I have to reiterate this to you. It really is a shame. You're a fan of a certain something, no matter what it is. I mentioned on my Monday Night Raw recap, my Monday Night Raw review, I used the analogy of me being an Atlanta Braves fan for all these years. I've been with them in the ups and the downs, every which way in between. I've been an Atlanta Braves fan, from first to worst and everywhere in between. I've seen people come and go. I've seen them make moves that made me scratch my head. I've been watching the minor league system to find out who's up and coming and who's going to be the future of the brand. Things like that. If I wasn't on the Atlanta Braves boat for all these years, the fact that they're playing first place baseball now wouldn't feel as good. The excitement wouldn't be there. So the fact that I know everybody that's up and coming and the deals that they made for top tier prospects, and now they're on the major league team and the front office is making deals and they're looking to even bolster the team even more come the trade deadline for a push into the playoffs, it's all exciting. There's an instant, I wouldn't say instant gratification, but there is a gratification there that you gotta understand and go through the motions to feel. The same thing could be applied to movies. Whether you're a fan of, I don't know, Jurassic Park or Star Wars or Star Trek, right? All these remakes, all these Star Wars movies coming out. The new one is critically getting bombed by everybody who's in and around the movie industry. This isn't Star Wars. This is an embarrassment, etc., right? None of the Jurassic Park movies have even came close, quality-wise, to the first movie. None of them. The Lost World was terrible. The third one was fucking garbage. I mean, the last one that was out with Chris Pratt, for the first half of the movie, I was enjoying myself. It gave me a sense of what the first Jurassic Park felt like. And then at the end of the movie, the second half, I was like, this shit was fucking mediocre at best. All I needed to see, and you guys know how I always say attention to detail. When you got a female leading character outrunning a Tyrannosaurus Rex in high heels, I threw all my logic out the window. I'm like, this is fucking Hollywood grade A garbage. Seriously. People running around and underneath these fucking huge dinosaurs. I'm like, really? Really now? This is what we do. towards the end of the movie. You brought me up here for the first half, and then you want me to just fucking walk out midway through. And the funny thing about it is, that movie, the last Jurassic Park movie, was one of the highest grossing movies of all time, worldwide. Was it better than the first? No, not even close. But it made all this types of money. Does making all this money, does that mean that it's the best? Because it outsold and performed better in the box office, revenue-wise, than the first one? I could line up a fucking million people and ask them that very same question. Every single one of them would say, well, the first one's better. The first one's better. The new thing in the YWC is, well, WWE's making all this money. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever they want. They're making $1 billion from Fox. They can do no wrong. When did it become a priority to podcasters, to fans, to Twitter trolls to use this as a valid argument to someone who is truthfully speaking about the quality of their shows? Because WWE signed a $1 billion 5-year contract with Fox Sports, that means their program can just do whatever the fuck they want? Does that mean that we deserve the quality of television that we're getting, for example, on Monday Night Raw? When did it become any of your business to care about how much money they are making? Absolutely fucking brain dead argument from everybody this week makes me roll my eyes in the back of my head like the fucking Undertaker in the 1990s. It makes me feel stupid. I feel brain cells deteriorating in my head when I listen to these people speak. WWE made $1 billion. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If you don't like the show, stop watching. The WWE's making their money anyway. Case in point with the Fox Sports $1 billion deal. So because WWE signed a $1 billion 5-year contract, I can't criticize what I already know on top of what everybody else already knows, that their product is straight fucking trash? When did this become a thing? Because WWE made all this money this week. Does that excuse them from doing the right thing? Does that excuse them for sitting back with a fucking Cuban cigar in their mouth, drinking a fucking glass of whiskey on the rocks? No! It doesn't. Everybody using they made this X amount of money argument shows you how much of a cocksucker you really are. It shows me that you're not a fan of the WWE. I don't know what the fuck your business is. I don't know where your priorities lie, but it clearly isn't with the main roster product. I know one thing every single fucking week, and that is WWE Creative are the most inept fucking idiots I have ever seen work from a fan's perspective. Now that I'm older, wiser, smarter, and more in tune with whatever the fuck they're doing now than I ever have before. The most inept idiots working in this industry. Case in point, Monday Night Raw. That does not excuse them from putting on good television. That analogy that I made with Jurassic Park is the one that should resonate the most. Because that's the first thing that came to my head. Jurassic Park, the original, Steven Spielberg's first big Jurassic Park movie. absolutely fucking amazing. Everybody remembers it. It's on TV. I watch it every single fucking time. It's got the most memorable fucking scene in the entire fucking span of movies that they made. Several scenes. There hasn't been a scene or scenes that topped what that first movie did and portrayed. You know, the realization is, and this is something that these idiots on social media, they fail to realize. They're not fans of the product. You know, the more money WWE lines in their pockets, the worse the product is going to be. There's no reason for them to get better. All this money that they're making from Saudi Arabia and Fox and USA, all these TV deals and these big time events that they're being paid to do, they're actually making the product worse. Because it gives WWE a sense of being complacent, and the fact that they already have no competition, it gives them a feeling of, well, look at all this money that we're making. We made more money in our history. We don't have to fucking put any effort into the television product. We can push this one the way we want. People are going to watch, yada, yada, yada. We can extend pay-per-views by an extra hour. We can just tire people out with more content, more content, more content. And the less the quality of the shows go down, they're still going to be there. We have 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. They're still going to be there. We can put on Bobby Lashley fucking beating up 3 men dressed in drag. People are going to be there. We can push Roman Reigns to make someone fucking feel nauseous every single week for the last 4 years. People are going to be there. The fact that people are using this as a valid argument angers me to no end. We are fans. We are fans. This is a podcast for fans. This is a podcast to bring to you the realization of what you are watching on a weekly basis. We are a podcast that's going to bring you things that should be done but aren't being done. I don't give a fuck how much money WWE's making, and neither should you or anybody else doing this podcast thing. Good for them. Are you making any fucking kickback in revenue from talking about how much money WWE's making? Are you trying to get a job with WWE? Are you trying to paint this fucking beautiful picture that really isn't there? What is your agenda when you bring that as a valid argument? Are you trying to make yourself smarter than you really are? Because in fact, you're making yourself look fucking stupid every time you bring up that argument. I don't care how much money they're making. All I give a shit about is the fact that Monday Night Raw comes on every Monday night, and I don't want to have my intelligence insulted. I don't want to fucking watch your program and feel embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. Now, but WWE's making all this money. Who gives a shit what they put on? That's the mentality. That's the logic of the wrestling fan in 2018. If you are one of these people, my God, even God can't save you. So if you ever see someone arguing about why the WWE product is so shit, and you bring to them why with valid reasons, and their argument is, well, WWE's making all this money. If you don't like it, stop watching. They can do whatever they want. No. Because they're making all this money doesn't give them the right to put on shit television. In fact, it should be the opposite. They're making all this money. They should be inclined to give me a product worth $1 billion. Are we getting anything near that? Fuck no. So don't ever fucking back down from some stupid idiot who uses that as a valid argument. It's making the television product worse. It's none of our goddamn fucking business how much money they're making. We are fans. And one thing is universally known. That this product is getting worse by the year because they are making all this money in the back end. Meanwhile, everything on television is suffering. There's less care. There's less love. There's less attention to detail. Less logic that goes into everything because they're making all this money and they're lining their pockets with all this money. Please don't be one of these fans. Please don't ever listen to a wrestling fan with this type of logic. If you come across these people, appropriately bench and move on about your day. They're not even worth the breath out of your fucking mouth. Please. And that's all I have to say. We're going to hit the intro. We're going to talk about the week in review. Get on with a bunch of other things here. I got a Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing. I got major news on this $1 billion deal from Fox Sports. What is the fate of Smackdown Live? Is it staying on Tuesday? Is it moving to Friday? All this news, plus so much more right here on episode 223, part number 1 of Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE's great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and anyway, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day. Today, we honor the birth of the big dog, Roman Reigns. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is Roman Reigns' birthday. Coincidentally, it falls on the Friday in which I'm recording Off the Script. I want to take this time, and I don't know what Roman Reigns is doing in this photo. He's probably getting a blowjob from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because that's all they've been doing for the last 4 birthdays. I want to take this time and wish Roman Reigns a happy birthday. I want to wish him a year full of the things that he does not currently possess. Mic skill, charisma, the WWE throne, fan support from all over the globe. At least not the fan support that WWE wants him to have. Not saying the guy doesn't get fan support, but he doesn't get the support that WWE is so thirsty for every year. And here's the big one, folks. Here's the big one. Character portrayal that makes sense. You want to add this one on the list too? The deserved right to use the moniker Big Dog, because we know he ain't no big dog. Fuck out of here, man. So everyone here on Off the Script and in the Off the Script community wishes Roman Reigns a year, a happy and healthy year in which all of those things will never fucking happen. Happy birthday, big dog. Another year full of creative failure. How many people did I make salty with that birthday wish? Dance, puppets. Dance. I have you at the fucking tips of my fingers, just fucking pulling the strings, bro. I am actually working in conjunction with my boy Salrex, and we're hitting up a bunch of artists, or at least he is, for me, on my behalf. We're gonna have a special t-shirt going out. It's gonna be probably the most detailed thing that I'm gonna add to my collection. And I don't think I'm going to put it on sale immediately. I think I'm gonna wait till we hit the 100,000 subscriber threshold, because this is gonna be a fucking biblical shirt of epic proportions. So I'm just getting you guys ready for it. I will have more designs out. I'm actually gonna talk to Connor, my regular artist, and get some cool new designs out there. I want to get another Negan shirt out and a bunch of other things, but we'll be getting some good merchandise out for the summer. But happy birthday to Roman Reigns, man. Happy birthday to Roman Reigns. Anyway, man, speaking of creative failures, switching things up this Friday. Usually I do the weekend review on the opening of the podcast. Not going to really go into too much detail because Monday Night Raw was a complete 3-hour waste of our time. Absolutely dreadful programming. How anybody could watch that show and say, yeah, Monday Night Raw was a good show. You are absolutely fucking to the point where you need to be just carted away and put into an insane asylum and never to be seen again. The light of day is something you should not be deserved of. Garbage. Complete and utter trash. I am embarrassed to even call myself a WWE fan. Thank God for NXT. And real writing and real talent. Monday Night Raw was a creative abomination, is the exact phrase that I used. If anybody's seen that Bobby Lashley segment, and I got news on it, you believe WWE is actually spinning this into a deal where they purposely did that? They knew that it was going to bomb and they purposely put it on their television. Yet this is a company that just signed a $1 billion 5-year contract with Fox Sports. Great impression, Vince. Great impression. If I'm the head of Fox Sports and I seen that as possible programming coming to my network, deal nixed. Fresh. Monday Night Raw, at this point, houses Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Elias, and I'll even lump Kevin Owens into that mix because Kevin Owens is being treated like shit. You could probably even put Sami Zayn in that category as well as the only pieces of talent on that show that even mean anything. Out of a roster that they have accumulated on Monday Night Raw, those are the only names worth anything on that entire program. 3 hours every single week they have to fill, and they have buried everybody creatively. I couldn't give a single fuck about anybody outside those 5 names. That Bobby Lashley segment was one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire life. It made me legitimately mad. And no, they didn't do it on purpose to get you legitimately mad. This is the talent of WWE. It's World Wrestling Entertainment, right? No, it's world's worst entertainment. I didn't laugh, I didn't smile, I didn't enjoy myself. If those are the things that I'm feeling during a segment on your programming, that means you suck at your fucking job. That television program is the worst it has ever been right now at 3 hours with the shit that they're writing and producing. That was one of the worst segments I have ever fucking seen as a professional wrestling fan. Bobby Lashley is better off fucking fired. He's better off quitting. If I was him, I'd be running back to fucking Don Callis and Impact Wrestling. I don't know what the fuck WWE is doing with Bobby Lashley. All I've heard is praise about how great Bobby Lashley was in TNA. But if this is some sick way of WWE getting back at Bobby Lashley for leaving on a bad note and going to Impact Wrestling and succeeding away from WWE and then coming back and embarrassing the fucking guy, what is with him smiling? Why is everybody smiling? What is there to smile about? Sami Zayn's making fun of your family and you want to come out shaking kids' hands, smiling, waving to the fans? If I'm supposed to take this guy seriously in a match, potentially, against Brock Lesnar, I hope Brock Lesnar fucking chews him up like Jaws ate Quint at the end of the fucking Jaws movie. And poor Sami Zayn. Poor Sami Zayn. My heart hurts that Sami Zayn had to endure such trash. Really. Unreal. Don't ever want to speak of it again. If you watch, WWE even cut it from their Hulu. Right? It was done on purpose to just put out there because they knew it was going to be bad. WWE cut it from their Hulu program. The Hulu replay. So if it was so great and it was supposed to entertain and make people laugh, why cut it from the Hulu version? Seth Rollins continues to be one of the best things on Monday Night Raw, but what did they do this week? They figured, well, Seth Rollins is getting all this praise across social media, and he's the hottest thing on the brand. What could we do? To utilize Seth Rollins in a way where we could take him to the next level. Put him in another 30-minute match on Monday Night Raw, continue giving him praise? Nah, that'd be too easy. They took Seth Rollins and they had him team with Roman Reigns. Birthday boy, Roman Reigns. Why did they team him with Roman Reigns? The Shield hasn't worked together since fucking before WrestleMania. Before WrestleMania. Survivor Series. TLC. They just washed it all away when Ambrose was hurt. At the end of 2017 was the last time I think we've seen the Shield, correct? So why are they now crossing paths? They haven't crossed paths since. So now all of a sudden, after Rollins is making the IC title relevant, and he's gaining all this momentum, and he's Monday Night Rollins, and people are talking about Rollins being the number one guy, and he's getting all this praise across social media. Now, you want to put him with Roman Reigns in a way for Roman to feed off of the hard work that Seth Rollins is doing, because you know the hard work that you've done for the last 3 years to get Roman over has fucking failed. So now you want to use Seth Rollins as a means to get Roman some cheers. And you know what? It still didn't work. If Rollins and pairing him with Rollins got him booed, what do you think is going to happen at Money in the Bank? I fear for these people's mentality. I really do. It is ridiculous how nobody sees the shit that they are trying to do. And then I'm the bad guy. And then I'm the one who gets called a fucking loser and a virgin and a mark. Meanwhile, the people watching these programs are blinded by the fact that WWE is making all this money. Is it getting you out of your fucking cruddy basement? Huh? Are you stepping up from Domino's to Papa John's? You fucking geeks! Are you drinking Mountain Dew Code Red over the regular Mountain Dew? Fucking idiots. Roman was in a tag team match against Jinder and Kevin Owens. WWE had Roman Reigns use verbiage such as, "Enough of this corporate bull." This is corporate bull. What? You have Roman Reigns, corporate's biggest fucking cock tease. And you're going to go out and have him address the audience and Stephanie McMahon as enough of this corporate bull? The guy who's main evented WrestleMania the last 3 years. Really now? Against Triple H, Brock Lesnar, and The Undertaker. Corporate bull. Management is holding him down. Right? Management is doing everything in its power to keep Roman Reigns away from the Universal Championship. What? Are you fucking serious? Yeah, the guy who's a Grand Slam winner in WWE. The guy who has been at the top of the card at WrestleMania the last 3 years. Yeah, management is really trying to keep him away from the top spot. If you believe this shit, this is why Roman Reigns is failing, because it's WWE's fault. They have him go out there and say these ludicrous things, and people, how are you supposed to listen to that and believe it? It's like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then here's the kicker. Mahal attacked Rollins and Reigns, and he threw Rollins off the stage. He beat Reigns with a steel chair. Mahal was detained by referees, and Rollins comes over to try and save Roman and console him because he was beat down. So Roman's music goes off with Rollins standing there, and they shower him with fucking booze. So if Rollins couldn't get Roman some cheers, do you honestly think anything that WWE is going to do to get Roman over is going to work? People, open your fucking eyes. Failure. That's what Roman Reigns is. On top of that, WWE continues to push the B team. Listen, I'm not going to complain about it. It's a Cinderella story. It's a little thing for them to do. But when you got Matt and Bray that you're not really giving any tender love and care to, they're just holding prop belts that mean jack shit. When you got teams like the Authors of Pain and the Revival on your brand, these are the two guys you're pushing? Does WWE genuinely care about tag team wrestling? Absolutely fucking no. The B team, looking like they're going to get a tag team title shot at Money in the Bank. Finn Balor and Braun Strowman, the only other talking point on Monday Night Raw. A main event that I had envisioned once upon a time if either man became Universal Champion and the WWE Universe was without Brock Lesnar. You know, a lot of people are very hard and very critical on Finn Balor, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. I mean, I have been as well. Smiley Finn looks like a fucking underwear model. He's wearing this ridiculous multicolored shirt. Some weeks he doesn't wear it. The next weeks he wears it. When they go overseas, he doesn't wear it. And then he's wearing it on Monday Night Raw. Whatever. Haven't seen the Demon in over a year. Or, well, let me rephrase that. The last time I said that, people corrected me. Last time we seen the Demon was against AJ Styles. So it's been a while. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, he has not been booked the way he should be booked. They have stagnated on Braun Strowman. And the simple fact that Braun Strowman is the guy who won the greatest Royal Rumble and hasn't requested a WWE Universal Championship title opportunity is just fucking ridiculous. It's all about Roman. This guy eliminated 13 men out of 50 in the greatest Royal Rumble, the biggest Royal Rumble of all time, and you don't request a title shot? You don't think you deserve a title shot? What does WWE do with Braun Strowman? They put him in tag team matches. Tag team Strowman. And then he's teaming with Finn Balor just a week ago, and he's mimicking Balor, Braun Strowman's Braun pose. We got Braun Strowman just fucking being Smiley Braun. Fairy Braun. What happened to the guy in 2017 that was causing havoc and destruction all over Monday Night Raw while still being cheered? I mentioned this on Monday Night Raw Review. The 2017 version of Braun Strowman would fucking maim and slaughter the 2018 version. I don't know who the fuck this is. Certainly not the guy we seen last year. WWE better get their heads out of their asses with Braun Strowman. He's being booked terribly right now. But Finn Balor brought Braun Strowman to his best singles match to date, without any stipulation. Reigns did a good job. I'll give him that. But in a one-on-one environment, standard regular match on Monday Night Raw in the main event, Finn Balor did a great fucking job. But here we are with Finn Balor. People criticize him. Vanilla midget, right? Who has a basic moveset, who's uninteresting and uncharismatic, who can't cut a promo to save his life. Smiley Finn bringing Braun Strowman to his best singles match on Monday Night Raw. And the reports before the Royal Rumble were, oh, Balor's not over. There's no believability in Finn Balor against Brock Lesnar. I don't see much of a difference now between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman, do you? The only difference is that Braun Strowman isn't a former UFC heavyweight champion. Braun Strowman could fucking snap you in half just like Brock Lesnar could. So I don't see where the difference lies in the WWE world. Braun Strowman, in real life, would fucking destroy Finn Balor. Just like Brock Lesnar would. But the fact that people said Finn Balor can't make a believable match out of a guy the size of Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar is ridiculous, because he proved you wrong on Monday night. In the WWE landscape, in that WWE ring, in that main event, they made you believe that Finn Balor stood a chance. And that's all I want. That's all I want. And then you got some people out there, oh, I don't want to see a guy the size of Finn Balor against someone the size of Braun Strowman. Why not? The David versus Goliath story has always been one of the most interesting stories to tell. Did you believe that Hulk Hogan, as a young child, could beat Andre the Giant? You weren't in the business like we are now. Everybody thought, at that age, young, and just in the moment, there's no way Hulk Hogan's going to beat this monster of a man. But everybody still calls for a dream match between Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar. Why? Because of Daniel Bryan's heart and how relatable Daniel Bryan is, and the fact that Daniel Bryan, the way he is, rugged, tough, scrappy, not going to quit. They'd love to see all that roll into one against a Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't think that's going to happen nowadays with the concussion history of Daniel Bryan, but, you know, that's something that people still talk about to this very day. Did you believe CM Punk was going to do anything in that match with Brock Lesnar SummerSlams ago? That was one of the best matches of Punk's career. That was one of the best matches of Brock Lesnar's career. So who the fuck are you to say that, oh, Finn Balor couldn't bring Brock Lesnar to a great match? Finn Balor couldn't bring Braun Strowman to a great match. And here's the new one. Seth Rollins isn't going to be believable against a Brock Lesnar. What's the difference between Brock Lesnar now and Brock Lesnar when he fought CM Punk? Nothing. In fact, Lesnar was better then. We didn't have these Suplex City being complacent and lazy bullshit. Rollins and Lesnar is the way to go. But Finn bringing Braun Strowman to a great match, I was happy to see that, man. I think everybody should give Finn some respect in that aspect and some credit in that aspect. Is Finn Balor over? Yeah. If Finn Balor could do what he did with Strowman on Lesnar, I think Finn could earn your support. AJ Styles did it. AJ Styles is just like Finn Balor. They're carved from the same fucking cloth. AJ's obviously the better wrestler. AJ's a little bit bigger than Finn. But when you look at both of them, they're the same style of wrestler. What made AJ bring Brock Lesnar to a believable match? Because he's a great worker. So with the vanilla midget shit and all this fucking negative bullshit with Finn Balor when he's in the ring, cut him some slack. I've been hard on him too, but what he did against Strowman, top-notch shit. Smackdown Live, few talking points from SmackDown Live. One, I talked about it on Tuesday. Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy. You know, one of the things that pissed me off, I did my SmackDown Live review on Wednesday morning, because on Tuesday I went to go see Miles Kennedy of Alter Bridge in concert. He was solo with an acoustic guitar and a foot pedal, and that was it. 3 or 4 different acoustic guitars, and that was it. So I did my SmackDown review on Wednesday. I put it up around 1 o'clock. People listened, people watched. 30,000 views later, almost 2,000 likes later, boom, you got a SmackDown review. I mentioned something about Daniel Bryan and the fact that he was in a program with Big Cass. Big Cass is hurt. Big Cass might be out another 6 months with a re-injured ACL. That alone makes everything much more unpredictable. Is Daniel Bryan going to win Money in the Bank? Is Daniel Bryan even going to be in Money in the Bank? So WWE had Daniel Bryan in a first time ever against Jeff Hardy in a non-title match. The winner would qualify to go on to fight Samoa Joe next week in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Here's the thing, though. Daniel Bryan made Jeff Hardy tap clean. We're getting Joe versus Bryan next week on not Monday. They wish on SmackDown Live. What is going to happen here? I pitched the idea, and this is where my anger comes in because people don't give the appropriate credit. I seen 3 different tweets from 3 different people who follow me who used the same verbiage, word for word, that I used, and they don't give me any credit. I would not have Daniel Bryan win. I'd continue the story of Daniel Bryan having struggles coming back, climbing back to the top of WWE and achieving that WWE Championship success. On top of that, I wouldn't put Daniel Bryan and The Miz in the same Money in the Bank ladder match because I would keep them away. You need a reason, and more so than just a tweet. Oh, The Miz is coming to SmackDown Live. I can't wait to kick his teeth down his throat. You need more than a reason than that. You know, and whatever they did on Talking Smack is great, but it's been dead and gone since then. They had one little interaction after that, and that was it. Keep them away. Keep the intrigue there. You need a reason. Meanwhile, The Miz is winning Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan is slowly gaining some wins and momentum, right? He gets a WWE Championship opportunity. Management deems him worthy as a number 1 contender. Whoever the champion is later on in the year, Miz will be there to cash in and take that away from Daniel Bryan. Whether he wins the title and Miz cashes in, or Daniel Bryan comes close to winning it and cashes in on the champion, whomever that may be, he takes it away from Daniel Bryan. And boom, you have a foundation laid out for Daniel Bryan to chase The Miz and the WWE Championship, which will culminate at WrestleMania 35 with Daniel Bryan winning the title. Then, there you go. It's not my idea. I kind of just altered it a bit, but mostly that came from Solid Monster. That was his vision. So if Daniel Bryan's not in Money in the Bank, and Jeff Hardy lost to Daniel Bryan, neither one of them would be on Money in the Bank at this point. Make a match together. Give Daniel Bryan an opportunity at the United States Championship. Why? Because Jeff knows in his heart that he could beat Daniel Bryan. And he tapped out. And he wants another shot. You know? Jeff Hardy's pride gets the best of him. You know what, Daniel? I had a good time with you in the ring. I think I could take you to the limit. I think I could beat you. I'll even put my United States Championship on the line. Because realistically, we watched that match on SmackDown Live, and I wanted to see at least 10-15 minutes more of what those 2 guys could do together. It was a 10-minute main event, and I felt like it was a good main event, but I felt like they didn't get out of the second gear. They didn't reach that limit. And I would love to see that. People on social media taking my ideas. What would you do with Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy? Well, put them together in the United States Championship match. I said that on Wednesday morning, and then people on Wednesday afternoon taking my ideas. And then I go to their Twitter pages. Oh, they follow me. So if you follow me, then you know that I put up a video, and I know you're watching my video. Because I said it right in the first fucking 15 minutes. I would put Joe in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'd have him dominate. I wouldn't necessarily have him win, even though he would be a great winner. But I'm going with The Miz. I think The Miz is perfect for whatever he's trying to do right now. And the greatest story needs to be told. Miz, Bryan, you aim towards that and make it worthwhile. Big Cass is really hurt, according to sources. I don't know what the time frame is going to be. I heard 6 months, but I will keep you guys posted on that. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is I didn't mind the way that they did it, but the lackluster way that Nakamura kind of insinuated he wanted a last man standing match. I didn't mind it, but I didn't like it. You know? Nakamura should have just continued on the microphone and yelled the way he yelled. He hasn't looked better since Tuesday. You know? On Tuesday, he looked phenomenal in his heel roll. Bass in his voice, yelling, getting in AJ Styles' face. He hasn't looked better. Heel Nakamura's working. But I raised the question again. Did WWE miss the boat on making Nakamura champion? Fuck yeah, they did. At Hell in a Cell against Mahal, that's when he should have won the title. And Nakamura should have been champion going into WrestleMania. AJ should have won the Royal Rumble. We should have got the match at WrestleMania with AJ winning the title and the heel turn happening still. They missed the boat. It might not be the right time for Nakamura to turn heel now. And the WWE may have missed an opportunity because there's so much talent on SmackDown Live to go against AJ. There's no shortage of opponents for him. I liked the way that Nakamura came off. I don't necessarily like the way he said it's going to be a last man standing. He took a little bit too long. Counting to 10 after giving AJ Styles a Kinshasa, getting on the announcer's desk. I would have gotten in the ring, held the title up. AJ, at Money in the Bank, you are going to be the last man standing. Take the title and just throw it right on AJ Styles. Simple. We don't need to have Nakamura count to 10 on the outside. A little long-winded, but the attack and Nakamura's promo and his heel-like tactics, brilliant stuff. So I'm liking what he's doing, but it may be too late to turn him into a WWE champion on SmackDown Live. Another thing that bothered me about SmackDown Live, and it really didn't bother me because the match that they had made me want to see more. It's the fact that WWE puts no attention to detail. They don't put any love and any care into tag team wrestling. Now, the Usos have not been on TV for a couple of weeks now. Ever since the Bludgeon Brothers, they haven't been on TV. The Club moved over to SmackDown Live from Monday Night Raw via the shakeup. They really haven't been featured in anything, right? They haven't gotten any wins. They didn't do anything spectacular to wow management to make them number one contenders. Just random week. We're going to make a tag team match. One of these teams is going to be number one contender. Usos and Club. Gallows and Anderson. Number one contender match. What did either of these teams do to deserve a number one contender match? Did they rack up wins in the tag team division? Did they showcase anything that tells the viewer that they deserve a tag team title shot? Or are you complacent just like WWE Creative is complacent and you're going to accept whatever you see on TV because you're a fucking blithering idiot? You don't want logic. You don't want storytelling. You want to feel like a dumbass when you watch their program. That's fine. I don't. That's why I'm giving you my point of view. I'm not a dumbass. Now, whatever I've seen from the Usos in the Club, I want to see more. There was intensity there. When Anderson took the microphone and started making fun of the Usos, and then the Usos had the microphone and told Gallows and Anderson, "This ain't Japan, Us." Stop what you're doing and you listen to these guys go back and forth. Because there's not a real history between the teams there, but there's a history of their backgrounds. Usos are the best tag team on WWE television. Their attitude makes you want to listen to when they speak. Gallows and Anderson have this history in Japan. They come to WWE. They're nothing but failures. They're looking to get their feet wet, finally, after 2.5 years. But why? It's like WWE doesn't give a fuck. So now we got the Club versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Have the Bludgeon Brothers even been featured on television to make you care? Outside of a promo here and there, smashing camera lenses with hammers? Has the Club done anything to make you believe that they deserve? So why am I going to care at Money in the Bank? It's ridiculous. If these teams are going to be labeled number one contender, give me a reason as to why. There was no reason as to why. Other than that, man, there really wasn't anything else on SmackDown Live. Naomi qualified for Money in the Bank. Good. Andrade Cien almost destroyed another local enhancement talent. Whatever. That's another thing we talked about on SmackDown Live. That can't continue past next week. This week, one more time, that's it, and then start putting them against actual main roster talent. You got Zack Ryders and Mojo Rawleys and fucking Ty Dillingers. Those are the types of guys he should be going up against if you want to get his feet wet. But this guy brought you to a fucking 5-star match in Philadelphia at TakeOver. I don't give a fuck if you're portraying him in front of new eyes. This guy, you know what he can do. Put him in there against guys that could work. Please. We don't watch SmackDown Live to see this hype debut of Almas and then have him squash some bum in 30 seconds. Come on, get with the program. Shit like that works for Braun Strowman. Guys that size. Almas, I want to see wrestle. NXT. NXT was very good this week, man. I don't need to tell you how good Ciampa and Gargano is. They finally got Candice LeRae involved. And she took a bump as Ciampa bumped Gargano off the apron. Gargano went against Candice LeRae, his wife's wishes. She didn't want him to get involved with Ciampa anymore. She wanted him to think about the future. He let his heart get to his head, and it cost him Candice LeRae. They made a big deal about Candice LeRae falling, down and hitting the steel, with Gargano falling on top of her due to Ciampa. Ciampa goes on social media and says that he was merely defending himself, that Gargano was the lunatic. I was just merely defending myself. If you're going to fight in the ring and come to the fight and be a big boy, leave your wife at home or leave the woman at home or some shit like that. He is fucking phenomenal in his role. And Ciampa, there was a story, which I got to DVR it now that I just thought of it because it's on tonight. The Mauro Ranallo story, the bipolar rock and roller on Showtime. There was something that Ciampa told him, and I hope people one day say this to me, man. It really gave me chills just reading the article about what Ranallo said that Ciampa told him. Ciampa thanked him after TakeOver New Orleans and says, "You're doing for me what JR did for Stone Cold Steve Austin." I mean, you can't get any bigger of a compliment than that. That's what Ciampa told Ranallo after NXT TakeOver New Orleans. And I can only hope that I achieve that success, whether it be with House of Glory or somewhere else, where the wrestlers, are in the ring and I do them the favor by getting them over. Like Ranallo's getting Ciampa over. In that type of way, man. That is a fucking massive statement. And something that would make me fucking smile when I put my head down on my pillow to lay down at night and go to sleep. Unbelievable. Ciampa is unbelievable, man. He fits the role. He's playing it 24/7. And that's what makes it work. Everywhere you go, he's going to be that villain. And I love it. Gargano, I've seen some people complaining on social media this week that Gargano is boring. They're over Gargano. Like, really? The guy brought you 5-star matches all fucking year, and you're over Johnny Gargano. Get over yourself, you fucking clowns. Oh, he can't cut a promo. He's boring. He's got no charisma. But Daniel Bryan and Johnny Gargano cut similar promos, but you don't got a problem with Daniel Bryan, though. But you got a problem with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's been in every TakeOver main event so far. And he's been the guy to give you the best matches of the year. But you're bored and over Johnny Gargano? The fuck are you on, man? Whatever it is, please give me some. I want to be fucking stupid like you too. Ricochet and Velvetine Dream. These guys are going into TakeOver, and they are definitely going to try and steal the show. They may very well steal the show, to be honest with you. Teamed up in a handicap match against Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan won due to Ricochet inadvertently, or purposely, I'd say, tagging himself in to get the spotlight over Dream. Dream took offense to that, attacked his own partner, gave him a rolling Death Valley driver. Lars Sullivan picked up the pieces, feasted on Ricochet, gave him a freak accident finishing move. Done. Lars Sullivan now the number one contender. Aleister Black's going to come out and address Lars Sullivan next week on NXT, and we got Ricochet versus Dream. They're really making me excited about what these two guys can do in the ring in Chicago, man. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. Speaking of TakeOver Chicago, I heard it's having a difficult time selling tickets, and I don't know why in that market. They've only sold 8,000 or so tickets. I don't know how many more they have to go. They may be giving away tickets in Chicago for that event. But I would take that over Money in the Bank at this point. Any takeover that accompanies a major pay-per-view for WWE, I'm going to take over more so than the actual WWE big event. But Ricochet and Dream should be a barn burner at TakeOver Chicago. And Ricochet was betrayed by Dream. And it's great because Dream, you know, he's towing the line of being a babyface. And WWE was like, no. Dream is a heel. And with that action, he definitely was on one side more so than the other. Definitely heel, and I like it. Even though in Chicago, he's probably going to have his name chanted everywhere he goes anyway. So, you know, but WWE wanted to reassure that, listen, Dream may be popular and Dream may be, you know, having his name chanted everywhere, but listen, he's a heel. And WWE wanted to get that across on Wednesday night. Undisputed Era is going up against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Should be a great match in Chicago. The underdogs should be a fan favorite. Should be a nice atmosphere. And we have the bullying angle that WWE wishes they could tell with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai. So that's going to be a championship match next week. I'm loving the intensity of Shayna Baszler. She's got the leather jacket. She just comes off smug and cocky. That's a bully. Alexa is not a bully. You know, she's not a believable bully. Shayna Baszler's a believable bully. And Dakota Kai finally stood up for herself. Listen, I'm going to beat you for that title next week. You know, and then Shayna Baszler gets in Dakota Kai's face. You know, you want to talk shit when I'm not here, but when I'm standing in front of you, you want to cower away and hide, you know, like a little bitch. So, I'm loving what Shayna Baszler's doing. If she gets better and progresses her in-ring work, man, she's going to be great. Overall, great in WWE. Lacey Evans is another thing before we get to the unboxing of Pro Wrestling Tees right here, or Pro Wrestling Crate. Lacey Evans and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane's got this underdog mentality going on, or this can't get any momentum underneath her storyline going on. I thought, and I said this on Wednesday when I did my NXT review, I thought Kairi Sane was going to take Asuka's spot and be that unstoppable force from Japan, you know, that hard-hitting, strong style. But WWE seems to be going a different route with Kairi Sane, and Lacey Evans got a big, clean victory over Kairi Sane. I've been very hard on Lacey Evans because of her character portrayal and her theme music that's very cringe, and she didn't really wow me. You know, you take a look at Lacey Evans from the Mae Young Classic last year to this year, where she is now, totally different person, man. She looks very much, you know, like a wrestler. She looks very comfortable in the ring, and she's getting better, and you see the progress. She's moving a lot better. She feels a lot more confident. She looks a lot more confident. Good stuff from Lacey Evans, man. I want to see her continue, even though she does remind me of a burlesque dancer still, you know, with her ring attire. I don't know how well that is going to get over, but, you know, it's all up to the fans. So hopefully Lacey Evans can gain some momentum via the fans, because she's doing a very good job right now in NXT. Whew. A lot to talk about, man. I got no notes. There's no notes here. I got nothing on my screen but the topics I'm going to talk about today. This is all off the top of the dome, bruh. All off the top of the dome. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting, as always. This is Off the Script 223, part number 1, Memorial Day weekend. Supposed to be beautiful. I got jack shit to do. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do all weekend. But I know I'll be here working at least some hours of the day, giving you guys wrestling talk like you only should need here on YouTube. I went to Myles Kennedy on Tuesday, man. The best concert I ever went to. Well, one of the best concerts I ever went to in my entire life, man. I laughed. I fucking cried. I didn't want him to get off stage. It was an amazing show, and I can't wait for Alter Bridge to get back in New York City, man, because the last time they were in New York City, there was a massive snowstorm, and I missed it, and I didn't want to go. It was like 10 inches of snow on the ground. I didn't want to travel to the city. I regret that to this day, man, and, you know, I know they're writing new music next year, and Myles has his solo act, his solo album, Year of the Tiger, out. Highly recommend it. The greatest singing voice of our generation. If you guys don't know who Myles Kennedy is, Alter Bridge did Edge's theme song. Myles Kennedy is the lead singer for Alter Bridge. So if you guys know Edge's theme song, Myles Kennedy is the one who sings Edge's theme song. Mark Tremonti's got a new album coming out next month. Can't wait to fucking hear it. And then Alter Bridge is getting back in the studio next year, which is great. They usually release an album every summer, fall. You know, every time they have an album coming out. So it should be good. But unbelievable show. That's the reason why I wasn't on here Tuesday night. Unbelievable show. If you guys want to see some of the clips, I did post them on my Instagram page and my Twitter page, man. So Thank you guys for being patient with me, and the Smackdown review seemed to not suffer at all, which makes me very happy that I could miss a night and do it the next day, and you guys are going to be there. Thank you so very much. Follow me on Twitter, man, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button. I'm hearing, and I kind of felt it on Wednesday with the NXT review, hearing YouTube is going the way of Facebook and Instagram with their weird algorithms. They're going to push content to you that they think you want to watch, not necessarily the content you are subscribed to, which fucking sucks. Because my NXT review was down at least 30% view-wise. And that's when the news broke, Thursday morning. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why isn't my NXT review gaining any traction? It usually does anywhere between 10 to 12,000 views. Barely did 9. So I don't know what's going on. But if you guys missed anything, all the videos you need are linked in the top right corner in that little exclamation point. Go check out the NXT review, SmackDown Live, Monday Night Raw, even live stream Black Ops 3 for 4 hours, man. So if you guys want some entertainment, spanning wrestling and video games, I got you covered. But I'm hoping YouTube doesn't take away the sub boxes. I want them to be there for you so you know that I got a new video waiting for you. You know, if they start changing shit, you know, everybody's fearful of what's to come with YouTube, you know, and a lot of us rely on this, and the way that they're changing it and making it such a hassle for the user and the content creators is ridiculous. So I hope that nothing is, you know, gonna happen. I think Boogie made a commentary. I know Keemstar's been all over it. H3's been all over it. They made videos. YouTube is saying it's nothing but experimental to a small group of people right now, and that you still have the option to, you know, categorize, you know, uploads by when they're uploaded. It's crazy, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but hopefully my content is not affected and you guys are still getting, or the majority of you are still getting my content. So please make sure the bell is turned on. Make sure you follow me on social media, on Twitter. Always gets fed to the Twitter feed. Please do so. Thank you guys so very much for all the support. If you guys want to go get your t-shirts, man, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Go get your t-shirts, man. 15 different designs there. Great way to look great during the summer months and support the show as always. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Harrys.com/script for your free trial shave sets. You're going to get a razor blade, razor handle, protective razor blade case, and the foaming shave gel. All you guys have to do is sign up, pay the shipping and handling, $2 or $3, and you guys have Harry's waiting for you in your mailbox, and you're going to have the best shave of your life. Whatever you're using is going right in the trash. I guarantee it, man. Harrys.com/script for all your shaving needs. Great way to support the show. And Audible. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Over 190,000 choices to choose from. Audible's going to give you 1 month free of their service and 1 free audiobook of your choice. Go and check it out. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much, man. Let's unbox this Pro Wrestling Crate, my favorite unboxing of the month. ProWrestlingCrate.com/nothing. You know, I was going to say off the script. I got so many things I got to remember, man. It's ProWrestlingCrate.com. You're going to follow them on Twitter at PWCrate. Once again, that's ProWrestlingCrate.com. You're going to follow them on Twitter at PWCrate. And you're going to use the code OFFTHESCRIPT for 20% off your first subscription. So if you guys like what you see here and in any other subscription service box that I unboxed here from PW Crate, please, man, go check it out. The best at what they do right here, PW Crate. Pro Wrestling Crate, man. What do we got? Tag teams. Oh, my God. Speaking of that, tag team wrestling is dead in WWE and that they make no money off tag team wrestling. Tag teams back again. Next month's theme is Women of Wrestling. So we got tag team box here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Of course. The Golden Lovers. Man, that match with the Young Bucks at that Long Beach show. Oh, my goodness, man. What a fucking match. Definitely one of the best matches I've seen all year. I like that shit. Nice color, too. Nice summery-esque color. What do we got here, man? The Faces of Fear. You got Meng and the Barbarian. It's a nice looking shirt there. That's a very nice looking shirt right there. Beautiful, man. Pro Wrestling Crate. Nicely done. What is this here? We got another collector's pin. Best Friends Forever. I gotta see. What is, this is Trent and Chuck. Best Friends Forever. Pin. Who cares? Who cares, man? Another micro brawler. Now I got both members of the Legion of Doom. Yeah, there he is. He can go right next to fucking Animal. Hawk. Micro brawlers. Wrestling Network presents... High Spots Wrestling Network presents a complete moron's guide on how to man up the Briscoe brothers interview. Something that I won't ever watch. There you go. What do we got here, man? What the hell is this? The Rock and Roll Express. Are these earbuds? We got fucking earbuds. Look at this. I don't like these ones because they never stay in my ear. I like my actual headsets, wireless preferably. But the Apple ones are garbage. These ones actually might fit in because they're rounded, so they might fit in my ear better. But I don't usually buy these kind of microphones when I got to go places and I want to take my phone and listen to podcasts or music. You know, I like the actual headsets. But, you know, there you go. Rock and Roll Express. We got earbuds. Nicely done. What's this, a sticker? Sticker of the Young Bucks. There you go. And being that this is tag team themed, I wonder who the photo is going to be. Ooh. These guys are going to be at the next House of Glory event on June 9th. Should be in the Hall of Fame, but are not. One of the greatest tag teams of all time. Axe and Smash of Demolition, man. Look at that. Nicely done. ProWrestlingCrate.com. Use coupon code OFFTHESCRIPT to save 20% off, man. I'm going to clean this stuff up. We're going to hit the news, and we're going to begin the news and rumors portion of episode 223 of Off the Script. Don't go anywhere, goons. I'll be right back. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. This Smackdown moving to Friday and Fox 5 situation really isn't sitting all too well with me. When Smackdown was airing on Friday, I didn't have this podcast. And, you know, obviously they're not going to keep in mind, you know, who's recording when or why. But I'm giving it to you from my point of view. Like, I don't want SmackDown Live to be on Friday because it definitely is going to get in the way of what I do here. Off the Script may be a Saturday and Sunday thing only. Maybe on a Monday as well. Maybe it will have to bleed into Monday. But normally what I've been doing is 5 p.m. or earlier, depending on when I get done. 5 p.m. or earlier is the new time for Off the Script. I changed the time from 11 a.m. to Friday at 5 because it's easier on me. I don't want to have to sit here all day Thursday and then record again on Friday and Saturday, and then I'll give myself Sunday off. I'd rather do it. I record early on Friday, record early on Saturday, and if there's a part 3, record early on Sunday. I like that scheduling a lot better. With Thursday, you know, freeing me up to game or stream or do whatever. If SmackDown review has to happen on Friday night, you know, I don't want to upload 2 videos so close to one another. You guys are going to have Off the Script and then SmackDown Live review. And on top of that, is Friday even a good night for WWE? Like, when you finish your work weeks, are you thinking about, well, I can't wait to get home and watch SmackDown Live? Or if you have any type of social life whatsoever, you're going to want to go to the bar and drink with your friends after a long week of work. You're not going to come home and watch SmackDown Live. If it is even live. We don't even know if it's going to be live. I heard rumors that WWE may go back to a taped format because it's going to be too hard on the road crew. At least with Monday bleeding into Tuesday, they got those 2 consecutive days. And then Friday, they're going to have to offset Friday when usually that is for their house show tours and getting ready for that. So the crews are going to be split up. Do you see how making all this money is affecting the product negatively? But nobody's talking about those reasons, though. Nobody's talking about those reasons. And I will not watch, like I do now, if the show is taped. Because the tape shows are trash. They feel so much more inferior to a live atmosphere. Smackdown may be the A show, making all this types of money compared to Raw. But when you want the WWE experience, you're going to watch Raw live more so than a taped Smackdown. You know, Smackdown has the dangerous aspect of being on Channel 5, Fox 5, because if the ratings don't produce, Fox can pull the plug, cancel it. So there's a lot of negative coming with this Smackdown move to Fox 5. Friday nights, I'd much rather be on Tuesdays and stay live. You know, people were mentioning, well, if it's on Friday, you know, they could get the promotion from Thursday Night Football. Who gives a fuck about Thursday Night Football, though? Thursday Night Football into Friday. Yeah, I understand that. But is that going to be better for the overall product? No. Not at all. I'd much rather it be Tuesday, remain live, and give everybody something during the week. And it follows Monday Night Raw. Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday into Wednesday. We don't need to wait from Raw all the way till Friday. It'll be Monday, Wednesday with NXT, and then Friday SmackDown Live. And Tuesday and Thursday in between with nothing. I just want to keep it the same. I hate when things are changed. I'm not a guy who likes change all that well. But it's SmackDown Live moving to Friday night. SmackDown's move to Fox is going to take some adjustment, and we still have plenty of questions. Pretty much what I just brought to your attention. One question seldom addressed is why Friday nights? Seems like an interesting idea, and SmackDown was Fridays from 2005 to 2015 anyway. So fans have already experienced a decade of Friday nights with the blue brand. But this happened back when SmackDown was a taped program. With SmackDown Live being a different animal completely, a Friday night move means likely nixing a house show or at least rescheduling them because a lot of the moving around the crew will have to endure. But there is an idea Fox could eventually change SmackDown's night again to an easier time to work with if the ratings are outstanding. Well, and I quote, if it kills, I think there's a good chance of that, says Dave Meltzer during the Wrestling Observer radio show this past week about the possibility of SmackDown finding a better night on Fox as he continued to explain Fox's reasoning for placing SmackDown Live on Friday nights. The reason, he says, and I quote, is they probably felt that Friday is a tough night for television and Saturday nights they're doing a lot of sports. They do college football on Saturdays. They'd have to preempt wrestling all the time. So Saturday is out. So the idea was to put them on Fox, but put them on a night that's not a big night. I think if you put them on Tuesday, yeah, they would get bigger numbers, but I don't think they would get bigger numbers than what Fox already has on that station. End quote. It was noted that Fox already polls around 3.2 million people on a Friday night running a cooking show, so SmackDown Live will probably do fine. If anything, the popularity of the product will mean better ratings for all involved. But you never know how popular it could get, and Fox might move it to another night. Let's just hope SmackDown performs in the ratings because they're on network television now, so a cancellation is always a possibility if the viewers aren't there, and then they might be facing an even tougher time if moved to FS1, Fox Sports 1. I don't like that. I don't like a move to Friday night, just for the reasons that I gave you. The biggest reason of all is it may be a tape show. Whatever the reason is that you're moving Friday night, so be it. Keep it live. It needs to be live. If it's live, people will want to watch. If it's taped, more so than not, they'll read the spoilers, figure out that nothing important happened. I seen this match 3 weeks in a row. I'm not going to go out and watch it. Not going to preempt my drinking with my buddies to go watch SmackDown Live being taped, and I seen Fucking Elias versus Bobby Roode for the 4th week in a row. Raw. Keep it live. Plus, it makes it easier on me. I don't want to have to move off the script around to appease WWE. You know, Smackdown Live review. I don't want to do that. Just keep it at Tuesday and live. And if it's Friday, fine. I'll live with Friday. I'll reorganize myself accordingly, but keep it live. Now, what is WWE going to do if SmackDown is getting all this money from Fox? The $1 billion, a 5-year contract. What's going to happen? Are they going to stick with what they got now? They're going to work with what they have now? Or does this mean the possibility of merging of the rosters? Or maybe major names moving from Raw to SmackDown Live because they're going to be in a new situation. Bigger audience, much more eyes on the product, being on Channel 5. So obviously you're going to want to have your Rollins and your Strowmans and your Lesnars and your Reigns on SmackDown Live, here and there. But is WWE moving huge names from Raw to SmackDown Live in the midst of this $1 billion deal with Fox Sports? Vince McMahon is bound to be a very happy man this week because of the $1 billion deal with Fox to broadcast SmackDown Live. WWE searching for new homes for both SmackDown as well as Monday Night Raw, with the company also close to agreeing with a deal which they've done with NBC Universal to air Raw when they leave the USA Network. Since those reports have emerged and created plenty of noise online, fans are wondering which significant changes could be in store, and several outlets have been claiming that several exciting things could be in the works with WWE, yet to announce any sort of news. Fans want the old SmackDown setup to return. The announcing team could be reshuffled once again, but one of the more significant changes that is expected to take place is that SmackDown will move from Tuesdays to Fridays, which we just talked about. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has announced an even bigger change will be in the works, and it's all down to pressure being on WWE to continue delivering high network ratings to keep SmackDown in a prime slot on Fox. Speaking on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer revealed that WWE will make SmackDown Live the A show by either moving the top guys from Raw to the SmackDown brand or by making it more of an even playing field. During an excerpt from the clip, he said, and I quote, "SmackDown ratings on Friday are the most important and really only number that matters because they have to do competitive network numbers or they'll get canceled or they're going to get moved. Fox is paying a lot of money for this. They have to deliver ratings for Fox and they have to deliver network ratings. So the point of all this is SmackDown has to be the A show. SmackDown ratings are the most important for WWE's finances long term. The most important number are the SmackDown ratings. So therefore, yes, they're going to have to move top stars to SmackDown Live. I mean, whether it's going to be 2 even shows, whether SmackDown will be the A show, that I can't tell you, says Meltzer. But it has to be at least even. And it can't be an afterthought show because, as I said, SmackDown ratings are truly the most important number that WWE needs to keep up. End quote. Fans have also been critical of WWE giving Raw more attention than SmackDown in the past couple of years. Although it can be argued that Tuesday night does possess arguably its best roster in quite some time. Still, with Fox paying so much money for what WWE considers the B show for so long, it could be a welcome change to see huge names like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman shift over to SmackDown to finally give it the importance that has been missing from the blue brand. Now, obviously, as a businessman and from a business standpoint, I mean, that's self-explanatory. So, with all that Meltzer has stated, it's very difficult to argue with what the man stated. They need the network ratings. They're paying all this money, Fox Sports is, to put this program on their station. And $1 billion, WWE is going to need to keep that up. How long they can keep it up? Will there be fan interest? I don't know. It's going to take more than just a couple of big names moving from Raw to SmackDown. You got to give me a reason to watch. You got to give me compelling storylines. You got to give me a reason to care about these guys enough to stop what I'm doing on Friday night and for you to stop what you're doing on Friday night and watch. I know if I didn't have what I have here, I wouldn't watch Friday. If I didn't have a podcast, if I didn't have to do reviews, if I wasn't making money to live my life off this, I wouldn't be watching on Friday night. I DVR it, I watch it Saturday morning. When I wake up having my cup of coffee and my oatmeal. They need to carefully, strategically plan. And, you know, the word planning in WWE, it doesn't exist. They do no planning. They don't understand the term of planning. But if I'm not watching these guys live on Monday night, what makes you think I'm going to watch them on Friday night? Doesn't make any sense. So either WWE's creative needs to get their fucking head out of their asses and put on good shows, or keep it on Tuesday. Keep it on Tuesday. But either way you look at it, no matter what day of the week they're on, they need to deliver the fucking ratings. If I don't care about a Reigns or a Strowman or a Rollins now on Monday night, what are you going to do on Friday? Why am I going to care on Friday? What makes you think I'm going to watch on Friday if I don't watch on Monday? Or if I don't care on Monday? Maybe this is the end of the brand split. Maybe this is truly the end of the brand split. Maybe with Fox moving, Smackdown to their station and paying them all this money, Fox, to WWE, maybe this is truly the end of the brand split. Because we've already seen we've already seen the pay-per-view landscape change. So why not take it a step further and just end the brand split? WWE rather make all this money than keep a constant on television. There's so much going on right now that it looks like a fucking jumbled mess. Just end the brand split. And you won't have to move anybody. Because if SmackDown gets all the top stars and you're paying all this attention to SmackDown and you're giving SmackDown the all the care and the love in the world, then what's going to happen to Raw? Are you going to feel the same way about Monday Night Raw? Are you going to treat Monday Night Raw as a show that's worth watching? So we're flipping with what we have now already. Raw is treated as the A show and SmackDown is like, whatever, the B show. So we're just switching places here. So on Fridays, I got to get my true fill of WWE, and then Mondays is going to be like what we're getting on Tuesdays now. Come on, man. If it's not an even playing field, WWE is fucking up already. Monday has to be like Friday, and Friday has to be like Monday. You got to give me a reason to fucking care and watch. I don't want one show to be much more superior than the other. I want an even playing field. WWE has a lot of worry with this deal. A lot of worry. And there's a lot of confusion. WWE has already changed the pay-per-view landscape. And it sucks. Because there's a lot of negative, more so than there is positive. But WWE is continuing to make huge creative changes in 2018. Now, with this deal, with Fox and NBC Universal for Raw, and all this money that these networks are paying Vince for Raw and SmackDown, what do you think that is going to mean for the pay-per-views? The pay-per-view landscape is non-existent. We're not paying $60 for pay-per-views anymore. WWE has done most of their business with the network. They put the pay-per-views on the network. You subscribe to the network for $9.99, so you're getting all the pay-per-view events and everything else that they're giving you. Right? So if you're paying $9.99 for the network to get a Backlash and a Judgment Day or a Battleground or a Hell in a Cell or a Clash of Champions, right? $9.99 for those particular events. Meanwhile, NBC, Universal, and Fox are giving WWE all this money for their television shows, Raw and SmackDown on Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Friday, whatever it ends up being. What do you think WWE is going to make a priority? Their television program or their pay-per-views? So, by the fact, and this is why I say nobody's really talking about this. All this money that WWE's making from these networks is going to make the product worse. It's going to change the product from what we know now. And we're going to have to get used to it again. By default, the pay-per-views are going to become the Monday Night Raw in which we watch now. Pay-per-views are going to be like a Sunday Night Raw. We're not going to get any definitive finish. We're not going to get any big matches that are pay-per-view-esque. We're going to get those big matches on Monday and Friday. They're going to deliver the big storylines, the big names, the big scenarios on Monday and Friday. Whereas with pay-per-views used to be the climax or the conclusion of a storyline. Fridays used to be the home of the big-time pay-per-view dream matches. You're going to see all that on basic television now. You're going to see all that on Monday and Friday. WWE made ratings a big deal now. Now they have to worry about the ratings. They don't have to worry about the ratings so much on Monday and Tuesday. So you're probably going to see less of WWE uploading, like immediately, what you see on Smackdown and Monday Night Raw to their YouTube channel, to their Instagram, to their Twitter. You know, they have to take everything into consideration. If you are a fan and you are sick and tired of the show, and you don't want to watch 3 hours of a fucking piece of shit show on Monday night, and you'd rather watch the highlights, because you could get everything you need in the fucking 2-minute highlights that they put on Twitter. You get everything you need from a 4-minute segment that they upload on YouTube, instead of watching 3 hours commercial filled with shit. You know, WWE has to also take into consideration that they can't immediately do that type of thing. They have to wait a day or two. You want those immediate ratings, because if you start doing that, people are going to watch because they want instant gratification. People are impatient nowadays. They don't want to watch. They'd rather get their fill in from social media. They want to get the gist of what's going on. They don't want to fully immerse themselves in the product. They got to be careful. They truly have to be careful. But the pay-per-views, the way the landscape is changing with these TV deals, pay-per-views are going to be like the Sunday Night Raw of the scheduling week for WWE. And everything that you are used to seeing on pay-per-view, you're going to get on Monday and Friday. You're going to have to get used to it. The old business model from the glory days of professional wrestling seems to have died, along with the crash TV style of writing that made the Attitude Era what it was in the 90s. Professional wrestling's traditional methods of promotion seem to be evolving more and more over the years, and new business models by WWE are leading the way. Vince McMahon is still the lead man in charge of the professional wrestling juggernaut. Although many question his decisions from time to time, he's still at the forefront of a massive empire and still a great businessman. One such questionable call from the chairman in recent months has been the reluctance to hold off on having big matches for pay-per-view. Recently, we have seen a lot of big matchups take place on Raw and SmackDown Live instead. A recent example could be Daniel Bryan's return to regular competition, where they immediately put him in a match with AJ Styles. Same thing we're seeing this Tuesday with Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe. Although the match didn't have a definitive winner, thanks to Shinsuke Nakamura, the match still went on and was very entertaining up until the interference. In fact, whatever they did on that Tuesday with Bryan and Styles was better than what Styles and Nakamura did at WrestleMania. That match could headline any wrestling event in the world. It could headline WrestleMania if it wanted to, but Vince McMahon decided to put it on SmackDown Live. Another match that could have headlined a pay-per-view has already, in the past, is the recent Open Challenge IC title match between Rollins and Owens on Raw this past Monday. Now, that was a great match, spectacular match for a television match, right? Fans are excited to see Rollins do what he's doing, and they loved the match, but it was done with no build. And fans like me appreciate a longer build-up and some story as to why. You know, imagine we get a story worth the IC title, and then we get a match like that. I mean, everything just comes together. Essentially, the old model of building up a major match for weeks before TV, before the pay-per-view rather, are done. So the build-up, the old model of a major match and a story to build up to a payoff at pay-per-views are done. The reason for that, according to sources, is that Vince McMahon is putting a lot of weight into TV right now. And with this amount of money he's making from these TV deals, he pretty much has to. So he's backing himself into a corner. McMahon is dead set on pumping up the hype surrounding Raw and SmackDown as he wants to land these deals which he has and really put into motion what these deals are worth. He has to prove to Fox and NBC Universal that these shows are worth keeping around. And these shows, the destinations for professional wrestling fans and entertainment. Also, pay-per-view means a lot less now and are not held in as high regard as they used to be. The WWE Network is also seeing some slow movement at this time as well. So expect more big matches and less storytelling on WWE TV for the time being. Great. Or at least until Raw and Smackdown really get going with their new TV deals in place. So, like I mentioned, the pay-per-view scheduling and the pay-per-view atmosphere, it's not going to be the same. I mean, pay-per-view now is meaningless in WWE. They don't treat it as anything big. Just look at what they did with Backlash. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. They don't feel special. These pay-per-views events do not feel special anyway. So it's not going to be that far of a change from what we're seeing now. But, I know I get bothered sometimes when there's no story and things are booked on the fly and things are made the night of with no sense or logic. I want to see storylines in place. I want to see feuds, and I want to see those feuds lead to matches, and I want to see those matches lead to conclusions, whether it be for a title or not. I don't want things booked on the fly. I don't want things given away for free when they should be on pay-per-view, but it's a mentality we have to get out of our head. Pay-per-view big marquee matches don't exist anymore. And with WWE making $1 billion from Fox and then however else money they're making from NBC Universal from Monday Night Raw, that mentality is gone. So we have to start thinking the way WWE wants. I don't want to say that, and I don't want to agree with that. But what are you going to do? They need to fulfill $1 billion over 5 years. And they're not going to do that by giving you guys that they don't necessarily, care about. They're going to give you the big name guys. They're going to give you the big name matches. They have to. Otherwise, this is going to be a failure on WWE's half, and a cancellation could be looming. So, creative change coming in 2018. The pay-per-view schedule is not what it is going to be back in the day when we were growing up, man. Done and over with is the pay-per-view marquee schedule. We have WWE, all their pay-per-views now. And this is what I don't get. WWE doesn't want to make pay-per-views marquee anymore, but they want to move all the pay-per-views to 4 hours. More TV time for the pay-per-views on the network. And this is all done business. This is all a business move. They don't give a fuck about the product. This is clear as day. WWE does not give a fuck about the television product. They don't. They clearly don't if they're moving all their pay-per-views to 4 hours. So a Hell in a Cell, a Clash of Champions, a Backlash, all 4 hours now. Why? What's wrong with 3 hours? See, this is why, nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. What did I tell you? A revolving door. Not everybody has to be on every show. You don't need to see X guy on Smackdown Live week after week after week after week. You got all these guys to fill a 2-hour show. You got Almas. You don't need to have him every week on the show. Revolving door of talent. Tag team match 1 week. Some guys are off that week. The next following week, you'll see those guys back in action. Revolving door of talent. Feature everybody and give everybody a taste of the pizza pie, WWE's making these 4-hour pay-per-views now, these B-level pay-per-views, 4 hours, to get everybody on the show and put talent on the show that doesn't always get pay-per-view time and to get them a pay-per-view payday. It's dragging the product down. Meanwhile, WWE, all they give a fuck about, and the only reason why this is happening is because of the WWE Network. The longer these shows are, the more people are going to watch, and the more audience retention they're going to have, so that when they have these investor meetings, look at how many more minutes people are watching the WWE Network. I wonder why. Because you made the pay-per-view from 3 to 4 hours. Why aren't we going to watch? But little does WWE know, and they never live by this credo, quality over quantity. We don't need to be bombarded with all this programming. I don't understand. Why are you going to tire out your audience and by default make your product worse? A 3-hour Raw is ruining the show. A 4-hour pay-per-view is ruining the show. There's guys on that show I genuinely don't care about. They don't need to be on pay-per-view. They don't deserve to be on pay-per-view. What did Jim Ross just state during the Greatest Royal Rumble? He fucked up when it pertained to the women. Not everybody deserves to be on a WrestleMania. You get there by working your ass off. You prove that you belong on that show. You don't put somebody on a WrestleMania just for the sake of getting them on WrestleMania. What have you done to be on WrestleMania? Nothing. What have you done to be on pay-per-view? You're going to make a match for a pay-per-view just to fill out some time on a pay-per-view card that nobody gives a fuck about? Now, obviously, there are some ways that it could get talent on the show and maybe get them over, but we all know WWE doesn't do those types of things. They're not in the business to get talent over. They're going to push who they want. I don't understand what this company's doing. And confirming all pay-per-views are being 4 hours now, I find that to be too much. It's been reported all week. WWE is extending all pay-per-views. WWE has finally confirmed the news. Basically, all pay-per-views will start at 7 p.m. Eastern and will run to 11 p.m. They could go a little bit longer, obviously, if they want, because they do whatever the fuck they want. The legacy of pay-per-views, the Royal Rumbles, the SummerSlams, the Survivor Series, the WrestleManias, they will be 5 hours, well, not WrestleMania, those particular ones, Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, 5 hours long, starting at 7. Presumably, WrestleMania will run longer than 5 hours. There's no word yet on what this means for the kickoff shows. 5 hours of a pay-per-view with a 1-hour kickoff included. The good thing about this move is that more wrestlers will get pay-per-view paydays. Not all of them deserve pay-per-view paydays. What's wrong with 3-hour shows? I don't get it. The bad news is that there's so much wrestling on a week-to-week basis, some fans don't want to sit through an extra hour of wrestling, plus a kickoff show on a Sunday night. That decision might have more of an underlying purpose other than simply wanting to provide more entertainment for value for the WWE Network subscription. At the next investor meeting, they're going to tell how successful the WWE Network is because so many people are watching so many more hours of content, Bryan Alvarez said. So clearly the idea is that they want you to believe, hey, they're watching right along stuff out of the archive. Honest to God, nobody's watching that stuff. What they're watching is the live events. So by making the live events longer, now they can go in front of their investors and say people are watching more and more and more of the network. Does this company care about the product? They care about their subscriptions, they care about their money, and they care about lining their pockets with that money. The fan is the last thing on their mind. I want to enjoy the WWE not in abundance like we're seeing now. I want to enjoy it without having it being stuffed down my throat. This. I got to watch this, all these live events, blah, blah, blah. 5, 6, 7 hours. Can you imagine going to these shows and sitting there for 5, 6, 7 hours? It's not good for anybody. Some fans might be happy that they're getting more action and an extra hour for their pay-per-view events. But in the end, too much of a good thing can be a very bad thing. But the thing is, it's not too much of a good thing. The WWE isn't a good thing. You're getting more of a bad thing. Because they put no love into the product. Only time will tell how WWE uses this extra hour. But this might only be a strategic measure so the company can boast certain numbers to investors. That's all it is. It's a business, people. It's not a wrestling company anymore. Confirming all pay-per-views to be at 4 hours, I think it's a complete waste of everybody's time. Speaking of the network, man, dates revealed for the filming of the second Mae Young Classic. Looks like WWE is putting together another Mae Young Classic, and fans are on high alert to the goings-on for their favorite female indie workers. Toni Storm is going to be back on WWE television, and I can't wait. Bryan Alvarez let everyone know during the Wrestling Observer Live this past week that the next set of tapings will take place on August 7 and August 8. Those two dates fall on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, in case you are keeping track. WWE went all out with promoting the historic nature of the first women's tournament last year, but it's unknown how far they'll go promoting the second edition, but the talent should still be amazing. Now, it was previously reported that Lo Shiree could be coming closer to a WWE deal, and Toni Storm was also mentioned on the Wrestling Observer Live with Alvarez, seeing how she's been rumored to be part of WWE's United Kingdom tour in June, which she just signed a WWE UK deal, so she's going to be working with WWE as well as other indie promotions that are affiliated with WWE in their UK scene. So you're going to have your Progresses, your, I guess, ICWs. She's going to be able to compete for those promotions, so it's going to be great. Toni Storm is going to be on WWE television. Speaking of Lo Shiree, it could be just any week now that she comes to the WWE. Their global influence is impossible to ignore, the WWE. But at this point, it looks like they might even be closer to snagging another huge international name. Lo Shiree also came to WWE last summer and actually had a deal on the table. But after a medical evaluation with WWE, it was determined that she had a neck injury. She received clearance, but it wasn't before WWE rescinded their offer. Looks like they could be getting close to coming to another deal because she has expressed interest in giving the WWE another try. To make matters even more interesting, WWE has a tour of Japan coming up on June 29 and 30, and Lo Shiree just dropped her Wonder of Stardom title, as well as leading some to believe she's closer than ever to giving WWE another shot after they nixed her deal last year and kept her from competing in the first ever Mae Young Classic. So if she's in the Mae Young Classic, Toni Storm, we see Piper Niven again, and a few other names, some newbies that I haven't heard of yet. I love the first Mae Young Classic, man. I think this one's going to be a lot better. They need to change some of the things from the original, though. I didn't like Lita, and I didn't like Jim Ross. You got to get Mauro. I'm sorry. You got to get Mauro Ranallo on commentary for the Mae Young Classic. It has to be done. I don't want to hear Jim Ross. I don't want to have him bring down the entire fucking program, which was taped to begin with. Him sounding fucking non-excited and Lita sounding like a fucking bimbo. You know, I don't want to hear any of that shit. I want to hear excitement. I want to see someone who knows the competitors. It's going to give you a history on the competitors. I want to see someone who's going to call the in-ring action the way Ranallo does. For something like that, yes. Ranallo needs to be there. And you want to put a female presence on microphone? Give me a Beth Phoenix. She was not bad during the Mixed Match Challenge. There you go. I just solved all WWE's problems from one of the biggest negatives of the Mae Young Classic last year. New commentary team. The production and the atmosphere and the presentation was top-notch. If you give me the commentary team that we need, it's going to be that much better. So this could be very, very exciting. Second Mae Young Classic this year, going to be really, really great. Speaking of the females, man, Sasha Banks signs a new 3-year deal with the WWE. 3 more years to be neglected on Monday Night Raw. WWE has been putting a lot of effort into its women's division. Yeah, right. More like a divas division. And trying to make the women's revolution as big as possible. In doing so, women have been featured in the main events more frequently. They've received some of the same annual gimmick matches as the men, and the company was even able to ink former UFC bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey to a full-time deal. There were some key players in the women's revolution during its early days, but none more so than Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Banks and Flair put on what some call an amazing rivalry back in 2016. I didn't really think it was all that amazing. And it featured many milestones for women in professional wrestling. They competed in the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match. They've also competed in a Falls Count Anywhere match and a 30-minute Iron Woman match, both with the Raw Women's Championship on the line. The feud was arguably the hottest thing on WWE TV at the time and put women's wrestling on the map. Fast forward 2 years later, and the women have achieved new heights in wrestling that some would only dream of in the late 90s and early 2000s. Now, female competitors in WWE have their own Money in the Bank ladder match, Elimination Chamber, and Royal Rumble. The evolution has certainly been a pleasure to watch over the years. To some, not to all. In regards to keeping the current jam-packed female roster together for the foreseeable future, WWE reportedly just signed Sasha Banks to a new deal. Now, the WrestleVotes Twitter account reports that within the last week or so, Banks signed a new deal with the company. It's also noted she continued to be a key player in the women's division for years to come. Banks has certainly connected with the fans as she moves some of the most merchandise in the company for female stars and really connects with the young girls. Not to mention, she's one of the better in-ring performers. Yes, clowns. She's the best in-ring performer on both rosters, female-wise. And she can cut a pretty good promo when she does and is in the moment. Looks like the legit boss, or when Michael Cole says it's boss time, my God, get me earmuffs or fucking somewhere to cover my ears because I can't stand it. She has a new home for the foreseeable future, or I guess a home still for the foreseeable future. It's going to be a pleasure to see her career hopefully blossom over the years to come. Have Sasha Banks get some of that Fox 5 money, bruh. Good on her, man. Signing a 3-year deal. Obviously, she ain't going anywhere. Her future is pretty much set in stone with WWE, man. Sasha Banks is a lifer, no matter whether she's happy or not. She is staying with the WWE. What else do we got here, man? Let me get one more story out here for you guys before we get the hell out of here. Here we go. This is something that I hope to see more of from this particular brand. And I like the fact that the possibility is open. Tjp headed to Raw or Smackdown Live. Potentially. Looks like TJP could be switching brands very soon. On a recent episode of 205 Live, the announcers talked about a social media post where TJP hinted at moving to Raw or Smackdown Live. A couple of weeks ago, he posted a photo of himself and said, and I quote, "Am I 206 yet?" The post led to speculation online that he was looking to get off 205 Live, which could be a good thing for him since he hasn't been featured in recent months. A move to Raw or SmackDown Live could open up some opportunities for him and really make the show a lot better. Dasha Fuentes interviewed him this week after his squash match on 205 Live. TJP said that he wants more competition, and if he doesn't get it from 205 Live, General Manager Drake Maverick then might have to move him elsewhere. You know, TJP is very underrated, man. TJP is a great wrestler. He just needs a reason for fans to care. But what he does in the ring, man, TJP versus a Seth Rollins, or TJP versus an AJ Styles, or a Daniel Bryan, or an Andrade Cien Almas, you know, guys like that. I'd like to see TJP do something, because he's too talented to just waste away. You know, the guy looked phenomenal in the Cruiserweight Classic, and then all of a sudden the guy went to 205 Live, and they buried him. He didn't go anywhere, and he really has not been able to recover. But I'd love to see TJP come out and open challenge to Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw. Man, that would be great. You know? Now, I just wish that they thought of this when Neville was there, so Neville didn't have to walk out of the WWE, and he can be on Monday Night Raw competing against a Rollins and a Daniel Bryan or an AJ Styles. You know? Sucks to be Neville, man. Sucks to be a fan of Neville. We'd love to see Neville succeed on Raw or SmackDown. Now they're thinking about moving guys who don't make the weight limit over to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Whether it happens or not, I like it. I like the idea of it. Whether TJP is the right guy to move to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, or if people are going to care about a TJP, remains to be seen. I hope so, because the guy's way too fucking talented to be wasted away on 205 Live, and way too talented to just be sitting in back by catering. You know, let's do something with him. Give him a shot. If he fails, he fails. If he succeeds, then so be it. You got another great wrestler on your roster. I'm getting the hell out of here, man. Thank you guys so much for everything. Hope you enjoyed this particular episode of Off the Script. I'll be back on Saturday afternoon. As always, we got some top stories here, man. Another guy, another corporate WWE clown. Even though I like this particular clown, The Miz comes out and defends Roman Reigns in the way Roman Reigns is portrayed on Monday Night Raw. We also got WWE and rumors of them purposely making the Bobby Lashley-Sami Zayn segment bad. Big Show signs a new deal. For how many years do we have to see the Big Slow on WWE television? Is WWE ending Rusev Day? Could be interesting. Is CM Punk all in? We'll talk about that as well. And update on Big Cass. Also, concerning Big Cass, X-Pac explains why Big Cass might have had backstage heat recently with WWE before his injury. What WWE could do for Seth Rollins and Jeff Hardy at Money in the Bank with their respective championships. Also, I got the real reason why AOP Insanity have not been used on WWE television yet. I wonder what it could be, man. All this plus so much more on this weekend's Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon for part 2, episode 223. Follow me on social media, man. Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for notifications. Please make sure you guys support the podcast where you can. Barbershop Window for a t-shirt. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Harrys.com/script. And audibletrial.com/offthescript. Happy birthday to this failure known as Roman Reigns. And I'll see you on something that isn't a failure. Part 2 of Off the Script. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your Fridays, and I'll see you right back here Saturday afternoon for part 2. I'll talk to you later.